Nigga, that's mine. Nigga, that's fine. Nigga, that's mine. Nigga, that's mine.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Breaks. Of course, I'm your host, your YouTube messiah of entertainment, never duplicated superstar Tim. Vicious is gonna go over Clash of Champions was in Charlotte, North Carolina. Only feels appropriate, you know, to have an old-timey WCW themed pay-per-view in the Carolinas and in the old WCW and NWA Jim Crockett territories. Now, before we do, one thing do want to address, which I hate to say it because it's kind of a downer note, and I try not to put too much negative bullshit on here. Firm believer, if all you ever do is focus on the negative shit in anything, whether it's wrestling, baseball, business, you know, whatever. If all you ever focus on is the negative aspects on the shit, that's all you're ever going to see. That's why I always try and put the positive message out there about with the good shit and the bad shit. And that is, which is a lot harder than it sounds when you, but Triple H did an interview recently with Newsweek, wound up making, the news is official. 205 Live is going to be coming to an end relatively soon, and the cruiserweights are going to get absorbed into the NXT roster, which I'm not arguing on that because that is a really good thing, because you got a lot of potential for a lot of big time matches. I mean, you just think about Drew Gulak versus Matt Riddle, or, you know, or something along those lines, you know. But it sucks because, and in a way, it's kind of the fans' fault, because all the fans that cheered and yelled and screamed to the heavens since Twitter's birth, saying WWE needs to bring back the Cruiserweight division, they should bring back the Cruiserweights, they should bring back the Cruiserweights. Okay, we'll make a Cruiserweight tournament. Awesome, 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 they should have the Cruiserweight title now. Okay, we'll make a championship. Awesome, 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 they should have a show. Okay, we'll make a show. You know what else is on? That pretty much summed it up. 205, my son's favorite show to watch on the network, you know, so, but it's sad because all the people that screamed to the heavens that they should bring the Cruiserweights back, you know, that they should bring back the Cruiserweight title, this, that, and the other, are also the same people that chose to go and watch whatever the hell else was on Fox or NBC or whatever the shit, instead of, you know, thinking, hey, while that's on, I can just pull up the network on my phone or my tablet and watch 205 on that. You know? It's sad, more so, and I'm thinking outside of that, it sucks because of the production crew. Now, granted, a majority of those guys are probably already working on the Raw or SmackDown shows, but there might be some that aren't. That's what I'm getting at, but either way, that's enough on that. And speaking of Cruiserweights, now we're going to use that to segue into the show. Kickoff match. First up, first kickoff show, Lince Darado going against Humberto Carrilo, hope I did that name right, against Drew Gulak. And this, man, this was a damn good match for a triple threat. You know, nice little brawl to start, liked on how Drew was leading on it, you know, and, you know, the guys all had their one-on-one moments, and I think that's really good to have when you do a triple threat match, just because you don't want to try and have all three guys trying to swing at each other and swing for the fence at the same time, because, yeah, that's when you wind up getting shit, you know. But one thing I will say I was extremely impressed with was Humberto wound up doing like this really weird ass modified sharpshooter at one point, and it was just, oh my god, ooh. Now it was a decent match, and at good amount of time. I thought the amount of time that it had was really worth it. Came to an end. Humberto, he did his finisher on Lince Darado, and next thing you know, Gulak threw Humberto out and wound up covering on top of Lince. Stole the pin, 1, 2, 3. That was it, and still your cruiserweight champion, the Philadelphia fighter himself, my hometown pride and joy, Drew Gulak. Next up, we got another kickoff match, Cedric Alexander versus AJ Styles. And before anyone attempts to shit on this, saying, oh, well, they don't deserve to be on the kickoff show, go fuck yourself with a rusty spoon sideways, man. Seriously. You know, they're not going to get a higher paycheck being higher up on the card. It's not 1980 anymore. You know, it don't work like that, dipshit. You know, this really good match. I'll be the first to admit it was very short-lived. But man, for as short as it was, it told a fucking beautiful story, and it was on point. And wow! You know, Cedric right on fire right from the start. Styles wound up picking up. The pace was leading afterwards. And match came to an end with Uncle Allen hitting the Styles Clash. So yeah, he got the win. 1, 2, 3. That was it. But man, like I said, as short as this match was, it was just so beautiful for that. Now we're on to the main show. First up, tag action, Seth and Braun putting their coveted Raw Tag Team Championships on the line against one Dolph Ziggler and Roode. And nice good little bit of start with the faces leading. Seth eventually wound up leading into being the team's punching bag. You know, Braun wound up getting a hot tag, started cleaning up some house. Seth got back in there, started working. You know, and I'm not gonna lie, the idea of Seth and Braun was actually rather interesting. It was an interesting experiment, and you know, dare I say, sometime down the road, I would very much so like to see this possibly further out. Now, match wound up coming to an end. Excuse me. Match came to an end when Braun, he was over in his corner, went to go do a running charge over to Roode. Roode wound up ducking out of the way, and Braun wound up pancaking Seth in the process, apologizing over it. And next thing you know, Braun, he gets taken out by Ziggler, and then Roode, boom, hits a glorious DDT on Seth. 1, 2, 3. That was it. So your winners and new tag team champions, Dolph Ziggler, Roode. Next up, we got women's action. Charlotte Flair in her own hometown. Get a nice little hometown pop. I like that. Going against Bayley, and you know, I dig this. I dig on what they're doing with Bayley, having her just be a heel, having her as a heel by association. You know, being guilty by association for sticking up for her friend, for Sasha. You know, whether whether you are or aren't on board with why Sasha left, you know, I can give a shit. But the fact that she's saying, yeah, she's still her friend, she's going to be with her because of it all, you know, despite all that, you know, and now is showing a little bit more of an attitude, you know, a little more aggressiveness, you know, it's fucking nice. Now, Charlotte, she was leading off at the start. Nice match, good pace. I dug it. And the ending, oh my God, the ending I thought was great. You know? Now, I looked like Charlotte, she was going to wind up getting the win on how, you know, but Bayley, she's over in the corner. She undoes the turnbuckle pad on the lower one. Charlotte comes over. Bayley, wham, pulls her down. Charlotte hits face first right onto the exposed turnbuckle. Does a quick roll up, 1, 2, 3. That was it. And then grabs her title and then runs right out of hell. So, to anyone out there that goes and says, oh, well, Vince favors Charlotte because, you know, he has a thing for blondes and all that shit. Dude, you're also the same guy that says everyone always loses in their hometown. So if he favors Charlotte, you know, you just kind of debunked that theory by using your own other theory because she lost in her hometown. Yeah. Next up, we got another tag action. Revival against the New Day, Woods and Big E. And Woods had one of those Velcro knee braces you get from like Rite Aid or Walgreens or some drugstore, you know, for when your knee's sore, on top of his trunks. And this, you know, now, good match. Really loved on how the build up to it, because it was Revival saying, you know, the tag division could be better. It should be better, but it's not, and it's because of New Day's fault, because of their whole pancake flipping, party, stupid, happy-go-lucky, fun shit. Instead of being serious guys. Okay. Now, as far as the match goes, liked on how New Day, right on the Revival, right at the start of the match. Big E was actually the team punching bag on this, which I absolutely loved. It was something different, and I can't stress this enough. I am a huge advocate and lover of when you do something different on a wrestling show, because different is good. Different is what will bring eyeballs. Now, I'm not talking do like different like Vince Russo, you know, make David Arquette world champion weird. I'm talking use your own in-house talent. Do something different that you wouldn't normally have them do. Yeah, things like that. Like Big E being the one that's the team punching bag for a tag match. Big E's never the team punching bag. He's the big heavy. He's the one that's supposed to get the hot tag and clean house. You know? Now, Woods wound up eventually getting the hot tag, cleaned house, but excuse me. At one point, Big E gets sucker punched, and winds up getting a shatter machine done to him on the outside of the ring. He's then out for the rest of the match. And Woods, who looks like he just got put on the ass end of an ass whooping, winds up realizing he's fighting solo, and he just looks at Dash and Wilder's like, or Dawson and Wilder's like, screw it, and just starts swinging at anything that moves, starts fighting them left and right. Eventually it doesn't to no avail. They wind up working on his knee after a while. They hit a shatter machine and then put on some kind of reverse figure four, like a modified reverse figure four. And Woods, he held on for as long as he could, but yeah, he tapped. So, your winners, and now these guys are now in the history books, if they made history books on wrestling, that is, as two-time NXT champions, two-time Raw champions, one-time SmackDown champs. So, they, excluding NXT UK, they are the first tag team to hold all tag titles. So next up, going from that to, thank God my buddy Zeke was there, because, you know, not only was he able to give me my heart pills, you know, he had to good. He had like one of those jumbo buckets of ice water ready to splash on me to help cool me down. Women's tag action: Mandy and Sonya against Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. And oh dear Lord Almighty! Oh, thought my heart was gonna give out for a minute there. Oh man. Now that nice little taunting from Mandy at the start, and then from Nikki herself. Nikki doing the taunting back at Mandy. Just, oh my god, I fucking love that. You know, I love that. I thought that was awesome seeing her do that shit. You know, and it had good story because that past Thursday, you know, Mandy belittling Nikki, saying she's never going to be as pretty as her and this, that, and the other. And you know, it just, I mean, we've all dealt with people like that feel like they're a 12 and look at you and think you're a 3.5 at the most. I mean, hell, that pretty much describes a majority of my exes. That's a story for another time, though. But yeah, it's just, that's on how, you know, it was good because it was, you know, sticking up, beating the shit out of that person that was bullying you and treating you like shit. You know? And now Bliss, she was the team punching bag for a bit, and then R-Truth wound up running through because trying to run away from everyone while still looking to keep the 24/7 title. Alexa Bliss wound up doing a roll-up on Truth that partway through the match. Got a 2 count. She was this close to being the tag team and 24/7 champion, which, man, if that would have happened, I could only imagine Corey Graves' reaction to that. So yeah, it was decent match. Absolutely loved it. Nikki, she got the hot tag, cleaned up house, wound up getting the win doing the neck breaker. I believe it was on Sonya. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. Actually, you can, you know, just feel free to go and write some mean, hurtful shit down below if you want. But yeah, either way, I know for a fact it was Nikki Cross and she got the win doing the neck breaker. So next up we got Miz going against Shinsuke Nakamura for his coveted Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. And seeing Sami Zayn come out, one with the neck brace, you know, still milking the chokeslam Taker gave him the week prior, earlier in the week. And then Nakamura coming out with a cape. I mean, a fucking cape. That was just awesome. I thought that was awesome, seeing Shinsuke come out with that. Sami, he was on the mic while the match was going, you know, and Sami, very much so, much like Kobe in a hotel room, is unstoppable. And if you get that reference, you obviously know what I'm getting at, and you're awesome. Even if you don't get it, you're still awesome because you're watching us. Now, dug the match, really liked Sami on the mic. Was gold. He was. And then at one point the mic actually got cut. Miz, he was outside. Sami was ripping on him. He snatched the mic right out of Sami Zayn's hands, threw it all the way up to the entryway. And Nakamura, he was leading, and really gotta say, there was a nice pop for at one point when Miz wound up locking in the figure 4. And I say a pop. You didn't get the traditional woo! You know, you had a handful of those, but it wasn't like the condition, hear the entire arena do it. It was more so a handful of them, but majority of people were freaking out for the figure 4. Again, understandable. It's Charlotte, North Carolina. That's Ric Flair. It's Flair country, and, you know, again, the history with the NWA, Jim Crockett, and all that. Either way, match wound up coming to an end with Nakamura. He hit Miz with the King Sasha, got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. So you're a winner, and still Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Next up, we got women's action. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch. Becky fighting and going right after Sasha, right at the start. You know, really, I'll say this, it was good heel work by Sasha. I forgot on how good of a heel she could be. But I refuse to acknowledge the fact that she's full-blown heel like she was back in her NXT days until we start hearing people yelling Sasha's ratchet like they did back in the day. But either way, decent match, really liked it. Sasha, she wound up doing it like ye old Eddie Guerrero, getting one chair, distracting the ref and using another. Becky at one point got pissed over it, grabbed the chair, went to go take a swing at Sasha. Sasha ducked, hit the ref. Next thing you know, them two, which then led to them two brawling all over the arena. And then after the fight got broke up, it was officially announced since Becky hit, excuse me, getting all excited and, wore out the throat. Since Becky hit the ref with the chair, it was called for a DQ, so Becky Lynch is still champion. Next night on Raw, them two had a little bit of a chair swinging fight, which then led to a challenge for them two in a match at Hell in a Cell in a Hell in a Cell match. So score, we got that. Next up, we got Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. Now, this match was an entirely different gear altogether compared to every other match on the night. And again, going back to what I said earlier about different, this was good because it was a very slow and very methodical. You could say methodical. I mean, I picked up on it, but some may not have. But it was a slower pace compared to all the other stuff that was going on beforehand. It had this nice solid tie-up. Randy, he wound up picking up the lead after at one point Kofi, he elbowed Randy, caught him like right around up in here in this area because you could see Randy going like, son of a bitch, you really caught me there, But yeah, after that, Randy, he started picking up the lead from it. But gotta say, this was a really good match. Really liked it. I love the way that these two were going at it. A lot of good history, good meat on the bone, and match wound up coming to an end with Kofi. He wound up hitting the Trouble in Paradise on Randy after he dodged Randy sizing him up and going for one of those infamous punts to the head that, has concussed or taken out people via the past. So, now we come to the next match, Roman Reigns versus Erick Rowan. And Roman goes right after Rowan, right before the bell even rings. And Rowan just straight up clobbering Reigns, Like, it was just, he had an answer for him. But, not to say it was all completely one-sided, mind you. Roman, he wound up fighting tooth and nail, wound up at one point getting one of the camera cranes, slamming it at Rowan. Wound up hitting him with a Superman punch, sizing him up for going for long charge for a spear. Just as he's in mid-run, boom, catches a boot to the face from Harper. Luke Harper, finally! Luke Harper is back. God, that was so good. Also, on a related note, I never thought a ghillie suit and an Amon Amarth shirt could go together until I saw Luke Harper that night. Now I know. That was awesome. Anyways, Harper came out, gave Rowan the assist, and then Rowan, he got the win doing that Iron Claw choke slam of his. I don't even know if you could really call it a choke slam. It's like the Iron Claw, like old Fritz von Erich, just like this, but he hoists you up like a choke slam and slams you down. So, yeah, I guess you could say. Anyways, now we come to the main event of the night. Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins. Seth, I will give mad credit to because he started out very much so the same kind of formula he did with Brock Lesnar, with going quick, starting out quick and fast, trying to end it quick to stop the monster. But Braun put the brakes on that and pretty much was starting to pound him into hamburger meat. Seth did a pretty good fighting back, you know, went tooth and nail each and every way. At one point, Braun, and you could probably say this was what led to the inevitable downfall, because I'll tell you right now, Seth won, but what you could say led to it, after Braun was up on the top rope, Seth was looking to superplex him. Braun stopped him, threw him down. And then Braun got himself up and situated. And then jumped off the top. A damn near 7-foot, 400-pound man jumped off the top of the rope and splashed onto Seth Rollins. I'm 6'2". I'm 180. I was never willing to go and do that because okay, well, aside from the fact I get vertigo easy, I know I'm not meant to fly. That's why I don't have wings. Seeing a damn near 7-foot, 400-pound gorilla do that, just goddamn. Now I feel inferior. Damn. But yeah, after the landing, he started grabbing his knee like it was hurting. Hopefully it was just work. Hopefully he was just working, saying that it was hurt, like he tweaked it from the landing. But either way, Seth, he wound up hitting 3 curb stomps, then a pedigree, and then another curb stomp, and then got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. And as Seth is going up the entryway to celebrate, out comes Bray Wyatt's Fiend. Bray Wyatt's Fiend. Hits him with a Sister Abigail, and then does the mandible claw on him. Next night on Raw, Seth challenges Bray Wyatt. So now them two have a match at Hell in a Cell, in a Hell in a Cell match. So it is all set for that. Now, I'm not going to lie, I love the idea of Bray Wyatt and the Fiend and all. Just, I'm not quite sure if I see the Fiend being Universal Champion, because it just, I don't know. It doesn't see, I don't see it, because I just don't see it. That's it, you know. I don't know how else to put it into words, but either way, that is it for this week's show, folks. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on my Twitter at TimVicious. Excuse me. Big ups to new contributors to the show. Lingerie Fighting Championships. It's a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of hot women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, big ups to my executive producer, Ali Rewan Ben, who provided the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, and such details are down below. You also want one of these sweet Ali Rewan shirts? Let me know and I'll talk to the man for you. Show him some love and support. Also, folks, don't forget to check out these cool ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel Mulligan, Kenny Killer, DSB_IV, Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Pants, Dazzy MWP, as well as my good boy homeboy Zeke, TSUNDERE_ZEE. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me.
You know, from nigga that's mine, he said,
fuck you.
List of robbers today, and pretty much a deal.